Lines are breaking, shelters are full, cities are running out of room, and America is running out of time. This isn't just a border crisis anymore. It's a test of control, power, and identity. So the United States is changing the game. Drones instead of patrols, deals instead of diplomacy, algorithms instead of walls. And at the center of it all is Donald Trump. His return has reignited America's toughest fight yet, the fight to take back its borders. For decades, the southern frontier has been a place where politics, poverty, and hope collide. It stretches nearly 2,000 miles from California's deserts to the mouth of the Rio Grande, a landscape where the sound of wind mixes with the hum of surveillance drones. What used to be little more than a fence line has become one of the most heavily monitored borders in the world. Sensors buried under sand pick up footsteps. Heat-seeking cameras track movement in the dark. Command centers miles away flash alerts when a single person appears in a remote canyon. This is the 21st century border, part wall, part machine, part warning. Every night, thousands still cross. Some are families escaping gangs in Honduras or hunger in Venezuela. Others are workers chasing jobs in Texas oil fields or California farms. And woven among them are smugglers who treat human lives as cargo. For the agents stationed along the border, it's not just a humanitarian mission or a law enforcement duty. It's a never-ending chess match played against desperation itself. The numbers tell a story that statistics alone cannot capture. In 2023, border encounters exceeded 2 million for the third consecutive year. Processing centers designed for hundreds now handle thousands daily. Agents work double shifts. Translation services operate around the clock. Medical teams treat dehydration, injuries from razor wire, and hypothermia from night crossings through mountain passes. The infrastructure strains under weight it was never designed to carry, and behind every number is a person with a story. A mother fleeing domestic violence, a teenager running from gang recruitment, a farmer whose crops failed 3 seasons in a row. Washington has learned that it can't simply build its way out of the problem. A wall stops people for a moment, but poverty and violence push them forward again. So America has shifted its focus from physical barriers to invisible ones. The United States has quietly moved its border south. New agreements with Mexico, Guatemala, and Panama now stop many migrants long before they ever reach U.S. soil. These deals fund what are called safe mobility offices, centers where migrants can apply for asylum legally in their own region instead of making the deadly journey north. If accepted, they can fly directly to the United States. If rejected, they never leave their home country. The strategy mirrors what Europe once did with Turkey, outsourcing enforcement to neighbors in exchange for aid. Billions of American dollars now flow into Latin America for this purpose. Mexico alone receives hundreds of millions to strengthen its National Guard and manage migrant shelters near its southern frontier. To many Americans, it looks like smart diplomacy. To others, it's exporting responsibility. But the effect is clear. The border begins thousands of miles before anyone ever reaches it. This approach has fundamentally altered migration patterns across the hemisphere, where once there were well-worn trails through the Darien Gap, that treacherous jungle passage between Colombia and Panama, there are now checkpoints and registration centers. Migrants who used to move freely through Central America now face documentation requirements at multiple stops. Some turn back, others wait months in limbo, camping in border towns that have swollen into improvised cities. The journey north, already dangerous, has become a bureaucratic maze layered on top of physical peril. Inside the United States, the asylum system itself has been rebuilt. A decade of backlogs left more than 3 million cases waiting to be heard. Some applicants spent 5 years in limbo. Today, those cases move through virtual courts, cloud databases, and remote interpreters. Artificial intelligence helps track documents, schedule hearings, and flag duplicate claims. Migrants who cross illegally without first applying in another safe country are now presumed ineligible. This single rule, first tested under Joe Biden and fully enforced under Trump, has reshaped how asylum works. The transformation of immigration courts represents one of the most significant changes in the entire system. Judges who once handled cases in person now preside over hearings via video link, often adjudicating claims for migrants still held in Mexico or Central America. The technology allows for faster processing, but critics argue it sacrifices the human element that asylum decisions require. How can a judge properly assess credibility through a screen? How can an interpreter catch the nuances of trauma when bandwidth lags? These questions remain unanswered as the system prioritizes speed over deliberation. And then came the turning point: Donald Trump's return to the White House in 2025. Within days, he signed an executive order titled Protecting the American People Against Invasion. The language was blunt. It redefined illegal immigration as a national security threat, giving federal agencies sweeping powers to act. His administration built its plan on 3 pillars: deterrence, deportation, and domestic enforcement. Deterrence meant restarting construction of the border wall, not the endless barrier of campaign slogans, but a network of high-security choke points across Texas, Arizona, and California. Contractors now use prefabricated panels to raise new sections in weeks instead of months. In some areas, wall segments are paired with autonomous towers that scan the desert day and night. The goal is no longer just to block people. It's to funnel them into controlled crossings that the government can monitor. The wall itself has become a symbol of America's divided soul. To supporters, each new section represents sovereignty restored, a nation finally taking its security seriously. To opponents, it's a monument to fear, a physical manifestation of policies that prioritize enforcement over humanity. The debate rages on cable news and in congressional hearings, but along the border itself, construction continues regardless of who's watching or what they think. The second pillar, deportation, aimed to remove those already inside the country. Trump's administration announced a target of 1 million removals a year, the highest in modern history. Immigration and Customs Enforcement received its largest budget increase ever, allowing the creation of new detention centers and chartered removal flights that carry deportees to Central America every week. Agreements with Honduras and El Salvador now allow the U.S. to return migrants directly to regional processing hubs, rather than individual countries speeding up the process. Critics call it mass expulsion. Trump calls it efficiency. The logistics of mass deportation revealed the immense machinery required to move people across borders against their will. ICE now operates its own fleet of aircraft, Boeing 737s retrofitted with security features, flying scheduled routes between American cities and Central American capitals. Detention facilities have expanded into former military bases and repurposed warehouses. The private prison industry has found a lucrative new market. Civil liberties organizations document cases of families separated, individuals deported to countries they left as children, and legal residents caught in sweeps designed for undocumented migrants. The third pillar, domestic enforcement, changed everything at home. A new Office of Remigration inside the State Department was established to locate and repatriate undocumented migrants nationwide. Under new data-sharing rules, local police reports automatically flag non-citizen arrests to federal systems. Immigration enforcement now operates as an information network as much as a field operation. Privacy advocates warn it could be abused. Supporters argue it restores accountability. Trump also expanded state power. Texas and Arizona now coordinate directly with federal command through joint operations. Their governors can deploy National Guard troops to assist Border Patrol or build barriers on state land. What was once a federal monopoly on immigration has become a shared mission. To Trump's base, it's cooperation. To opponents, it's constitutional chaos. But it's changing how America handles the issue forever. Even with enforcement rising, Washington knows its economy still depends on migration. Farms, factories, and logistics hubs all rely on workers the domestic labor market can't supply. To keep the system from breaking, the United States has quietly expanded legal pathways. The humanitarian parole program allows 30,000 migrants per month from Venezuela, Cuba, Nicaragua, and Haiti to enter with sponsors. illegal crossings from those nations have fallen by more than 70% since the program began. At the same time, seasonal work visas for agriculture and construction, the H-2A and H-2B programs, have reached record highs. It's a silent compromise, strict enforcement paired with selective openness. This dual approach reveals the contradiction at the heart of American immigration policy. The same administration that promises the largest deportation effort in history also oversees the largest expansion of legal work visas in decades. Farmers in California's Central Valley depend on H-2A workers to harvest crops. Hospitality companies in Florida rely on H-2B visas to staff hotels and restaurants. Technology companies continue to lobby for more high-skilled visas. The economy demands what politics condemns, creating a system where enforcement and facilitation operate simultaneously, often in the same communities. Technology has become the backbone of this new era. At airports, biometric gates scan every traveler. At detention centers, AI algorithms calculate flight risk and decide who can be released pending hearings. Data dashboards display live migration maps based on satellite imagery and sensor alerts. In Washington, analysts can now predict migration waves months in advance, tracking the effects of droughts, economic collapse, or political unrest abroad. For the first time, immigration isn't just a social issue, it's a data science. And under Trump, private tech companies have become part of the enforcement web. Defense contractors that once built drones for the military now provide surveillance towers for Border Patrol. Startups develop smartphone apps that track asylum seekers' locations in real time instead of keeping them in detention. Civil rights groups call it digital detention, a system that trades freedom for constant monitoring. But from the government's perspective, it's a cheaper, faster solution. Beyond the border, the U.S. continues to fight what it calls the root causes of migration. Billions of dollars in aid target corruption, unemployment, and gang violence across Central America. The logic is simple. If people have reasons to stay home, fewer will flee north. Trump hasn't abandoned this approach, but he's changed the terms. Countries that cooperate on border control get access to American investment. Those that don't lose it. Aid has become leverage, diplomacy turned into enforcement. The root causes strategy faces skepticism from all sides. Progressive critics argue that decades of U.S. intervention in Latin America created the instability driving migration today. Conservative critics question whether foreign aid accomplishes anything beyond enriching corrupt officials. Meanwhile, the migrants themselves continue to leave, often citing the very programs meant to help as ineffective or inaccessible. Economic development takes generations. Hunger and violence demand immediate escape. The result is a new kind of hemispheric politics. Mexico's government, long resistant to U.S. pressure, now depends on Washington's economic backing to maintain stability along its own southern border. Colombia and Panama host new U.S.-funded processing hubs. Even Guatemala has started using American technology to track migration routes through its forests. The line between domestic and foreign policy has blurred completely. Inside the United States, the effects are visible everywhere. New York, Chicago, and Denver struggle to house record numbers of migrants bussed north from Texas. Hotel lobbies become shelters. City budgets strain. Governors trade accusations on cable news. Congress argues, but local governments feel the pressure first. It's turned immigration from a border issue into a national one. Public opinion is shifting too. Polls show that most Americans, and even many who once supported open border policies, now want stricter enforcement combined with faster legal entry. The message is simple. Control the border, but don't close it. Trump's administration has leaned hard into that mood, selling its approach as realism over ideology. Whether the strategy works long-term remains to be seen, but for now, it dominates the national conversation. And yet, beneath the politics, a deeper transformation is taking place. America is redefining what a border even is. It's no longer just a line to cross. It's a network of decisions, data, and diplomacy that stretches across continents. A migrant's journey might begin in Nicaragua, pass through a Mexican screening center, appear on an American database, and end in a courtroom in Houston, all before a single step into the United States. The system doesn't stop movement, it manages it. Supporters see this as the future of controlled migration, a model for other nations facing similar crises. Critics see it as a warning of how far surveillance and state power can reach. Both might be right. What's unfolding is the largest border experiment of the 21st century, one that blends technology, politics, and human survival into a single, fragile balance. In the end, the United States isn't just trying to fix an immigration problem. It's trying to master movement itself. Every drone, every policy, every deal with a foreign government is an attempt to keep the line from breaking. But lines always shift, people always move, and the border, no matter how advanced, how enforced, or how digitized, will always be a reflection of what America is willing to protect and what it's willing to let go. Because in a world where everything is in motion, the real question isn't how many people cross the border. It's how long America can hold the line.